We're rolling. All right, so we
What's
have
it?
here, this is Sean Reveron from Cult Nation, and we have Mike from BONGZILLA. Say hi to everyone, Mike.
Hey, everybody.
How you doing? All right. So, dude, just to let you know, Mike, this is going to be a very stoner-friendly interview.
They usually are for me.
All right, that's a good, that's a good thing. First question, do you remember the year you smoked your first joint and what
Oh, I do.
songs?
Well, not my first. Well, was it a joint? No, it wasn't. It wasn't a joint. I remember the very first time I smoked pot. So I was 11 years old, and me and my friends stole weed from his older brother, and then made a pipe out of a soda can, and got high. Then walked to my house, and I had borrowed Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath from my friend's older brother,
Oh my God.
and I was in Catholic grade school at the time, and an altar boy, and I remember specifically thinking, if I put this needle to this record, I will go to hell. And boom.
Is
And
that
that also to me maybe was the very beginning of Bongzilla, looking back at those pivotal moments in our lives, I guess, you know?
well, that's what I was going to ask you. So you answered the question. That was where BONGZILLA started.
It feels like it now, you know, in looking back.
I mean, because there was something about the riffage of Sabbath that just
Yeah, I mean,
did something to you.
I went away from it for a long time, like, not, I was a punk rock kid for many years, and, like, I grew up on Zeppelin and Sabbath, and then I get into punk rock, and, you know, kids, you can't listen to Sabbath and Black Flag at the same time, or, you know what I mean?
I
Like, those
totally
little
get
stupid
it.
things that our brains tell us, and then, you know, one day I remember, like, going back and, like, hearing Sabbath and, like, being really surprised how much it still moved me.
Yeah.
And then started playing, you know, hearing the Melvins wanting to play really slow, you know.
Yeah, totally.
So,
So tell me a little bit about your punk time. Like, when did you get into the scene? In the early 80s or mid 80s?
like, when did I start listening to, like, punk rock?
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
the mid-'80s, like Black Flag, and I saw Black Flag, Circle Jerk, Suicidal Tendencies, Husker Du, Replacements, the good version of Soul Asylum,
Right.
like all back in '85, probably,
All right.
all those bands, yeah, so, and a lot of smaller, you know, more underground bands, but yeah, and then, you know, probably once I got away, I don't know what happened, I just wanted to play slow. I remember hearing the Melvins, and then once I wanted to play slow, I started, you know, getting back into Sabbath a lot, and getting back into Skinner and all the shit I grew up on, and, you know, I learned from my uncles and, you know, friends' older brothers and shit like that.
Word. So let me ask you this. Since the potency of weed has become higher since when you started the band, do you ever think that if you started the band now, that the high potency of the weed would have even a heavier impact on your sound in a way?
On our sound?
Yeah, or just on the riffage, not the sound, but just where
I don't
you
know.
go.
I mean, maybe you just have to smoke less, right? And maybe you
Right.
can get to somewhere else you couldn't get. But I mean, I think that's why it's what's cool about. To me, what's cool about is going on is now, as a guy that's had trouble with abuse of many drugs. I was a pincushion for 7 years. You know, drank way too much for too long. That's a drug you can abuse, and with
Right.
the potency going up in concentrates, you can get what I would call drunk on weed, you know? Like, you can be falling down drunk on weed with concentrates and shit.
Right.
And cheesing, and, you know, you're not getting into fights like whiskey and shit, but, you know what I'm saying? It's yeah, I'm all for it. I don't know if it would have impacted our sound.
Right.
I think we've always smoked so much weed, you know. It's just, You know, it's easier on us when we're on tour now,
Right.
but I've always sought out the 20s, and I know it's quite a bit higher than 20 now. I've seen 35, but
For a
you know,
gram.
20 to THC content.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's what the highest I've seen so far is 35.
Yeah,
Which is phenomenal. You know, it was 12 to 20 for 30 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It's true.
And then when the U.S. legalized weed, for whatever reason, people got... I mean, I think just U.S. people like to get it to the purest, you know, cocaine may be an example, refine it to the purest, strongest form you can make it.
Let me ask you this. How do you feel about the legalization of marijuana that seems to be happening across the states right now? Do you think it's a positive thing?
Yeah, I think so. In the money that states have given the schools,
Mm-hmm.
the hard drug rates, the violence rates, like the criminal activity in those states around, especially marijuana, obviously, are, you know, a high percentage of people in the United States of America are in jail for marijuana offenses.
It's true.
And that's ridiculous.
It's totally. I agree with you.
It's ridiculous. I think it's like 25 to 30%. I'm not positive about that number, but it's a way higher number than it should be for a plant that, you know, who are we as human beings to think we can police a plant that this planet gave to us?
It's been used for thousands of years, though. It's been used for thousands of years.
Yeah, and it grows everywhere. It grows everywhere throughout the world. You have a receptor for it in your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it makes sense that we're supposed to be using it.
You're totally right. This is like, okay, as a band, do you share your love for munchies? And what are some of your favorites when you get high? Or do you go, now that you're older and I'm older, I tend to go for the healthier munchies. Do you go for more nuts and veggies and like carrots and shit? Or do you have...
I worked at a co-op for 14 years, so I'm more into... I mean, if there's nothing around, I'll eat crap, but most of the time I'm eating, you know, fruits and veggies, and I'm a vegetarian. Not everybody in the band is. This is just me. You know, I would say that most of these guys... We're not like big sweets guys these days, but a bag of Doritos or something, yeah, it happens. Like last night, and I'm a little guy. We met. I'm a little guy. Last night I ate 6 pieces of New York, like a New York-sized slice of pizza. 6 of them.
That's fucking insane, dude.
Like a whole giant fucking 22-inch pie by myself.
Where were you?
Last night we were in Santa Cruz.
How much did you smoke, man?
Oh, we were going to start a log, and maybe we'll try to do it for you at some coming up tour, but we wanted to do a log, and I did it for 2 days, and it was so much work to be writing down every time we smoked that I stopped doing it.
That's funny.
We couldn't even figure out, I bet we've smoked, so we've been out for 12 days, I bet we smoked upwards in the 20 to 30 different strains right now. We left Madison with 2 ounces. We were leaving Oregon. We had 2 ounces in the van, and we pulled over and got another ounce because we could. Because we're still enamored by the legal pot story, you know?
Yeah, I'm just saying, because, like, you even have, what is the, I'm bad with names, but your album cover that has, like, the soldier on it. I mean, your whole thing's about weed, as we all know, but it's just like, it's a trip. Like, do you trip out that, like, you've been an advocate for weed for so many years, and it's come full circle? Like, this is your first tour that you're touring where it's legal now in a lot of states.
And it's been a lot higher than it's ever been.
More expensive,
you know, because of it. It's sick. What's up? Okay, I'm doing an interview for Cult Nations. Okay, I can make it back myself. Thanks.
When you say higher, what do you mean?
When I what?
You said you've been higher now, or you're saying something about?
Yeah. I think we've been able to smoke more weed than we ever have, because we went from Madison to the West Coast, starting at the north where it's legal. So, you know, when we first pulled into Seattle, or no, we played Spokane. We went to 4 weed shops that day just because we could. Because, like I said, you know, like
That's awesome.
It's weird because, like, when we didn't play for 10 years, it's not like I wasn't smoking weed
Right.
and making bubble hash and growing weed. You know, that's my life in BONGZILLA became like, oh, you talked about impacting the sound, and I don't know if it would, because the anger in BONGZILLA, at least that part of it, is because it was the only, you know, even in states where it's legal, I can't go to a bar and smoke.
That's true.
You know, it struck me as really weird that they want to keep alcohol and I mean, I understand the bars don't want, because people aren't going to drink as much, but give the bar the right to sell weed.
Yeah, I think some years later that might change in places like Colorado. I think, you know, as people get more used to the new laws, maybe something will change.
It's the states where it's not legal you can smoke in the bar, it seems. You know?
Interesting.
Because they're not going to lose their liquor license for people smoking pot in there.
Yeah, that's true.
They can get, you know, where in a state where it's legal, might be entirely different.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you realize that your music is a catalyst for the listener's high to be expanded and for the listener to fly off to unknown places? Is this...
I hope so. That's the intent.
Awesome.
An actual conscious intent of... I mean, that's why I think we have those weird breakdowns that no other sludge band really has, you know? Those almost... A friend of mine one day that didn't know anything about the music we played or the genre or any of it was like, "You guys are like Sabbath meets Floyd with an angry little elf singing or something," he said, you know, and it is because of the fucking super trippy parts that, you know, because sometimes music is background, especially when you're high, but when you're listening to music and all of a sudden the band does something that re-grabs you, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. I feel it. I mean,
I call them the bong session parts too, because it's not a heavy riff. You can pack a little weed, and then boom, they're heavy again, and I'm higher.
Yeah,
you know,
it's true. No, the thing is though, there's what I hear in your music as well. Like you said earlier, Skinner. Like I hear the classic rock, but then I also hear a lot of bands try to, like, I wouldn't say they hide the blues, but you know the blues is there. But the blues is really there in BONGZILLA.
Oh yeah, it's there. Yeah, it's all blues. It's all blues. Yeah, I would agree with that.
You know,
but I grew up on like old Fred McDowell and you know, John Hurt, Mississippi John Hurt. You know, like the weird, more obscure, obviously Muddy Waters and Robert Johnson, but, you know, some of the more obscure blues that's simple and it's not 12-bar and it's real raw. You know, like Fred McDowell is sick to me. Yeah. You know?
Now, dude, what comes first with BONGZILLA? Is it the bong hit or the riff? I think I know the answer.
Well, I will personally cancel practice if I don't. I usually almost always have weed. It's like 99.999. But if I don't, we won't practice. So I guess I would honestly have to say the hit comes first. But in a way, I think the hit's the way to get to the riff. Where I've always said we don't write the riffs. We discover them or channel them.
Yeah, channel them.
Yeah.
I agree.
I think channeling, you know, and you get high enough to make it easy to channel stuff. You know what I mean? Like, the best songs for BONGZILLA have sung out of a practice. We were all so high, other people probably couldn't talk to us.
Whoa.
You know, not that we don't make sense, but we start in-speaking and, you know what I mean? Like, and, giggling at the stupidest little things. And
no, I feel you, man, because it's just like, even like, with Cold Nation, for instance, it's like when we first started, I probably wrote maybe over like 2,000 reviews, right? But the thing about Cold Nation, we don't give bad reviews. So it's like I have to love the music 100%.
Or you won't do a review.
I can't do it.
Gotcha.
But like, so like the band, the music could be rad, but then the vocals might not come in, like might not be something that I dig. So I don't want to just like pick it apart. But when music just moves me, it just like the words just flow out of me. And that's the same thing I'm sure that happens with your riffs and the music that you make. You know, the shit just comes out of you, you know, and makes it more pure. All right, I got this. Let me see. Does it matter to you? Could you date a woman, I mean, that's not a smoker?
No way. I can't hard
Why not?
To my life.
Huh?
And it's not, it would be, I couldn't. I really couldn't.
Okay.
It's that ridiculous, you know what I mean?
So it's a deal breaker for you?
Oh, I just couldn't. It would be impossible.
Okay.
There's no way. I wouldn't be unfunctionable.
Let me ask you, have you ever thought of, this is something I think you should do, personally. Have you brothers ever thought of teaming up with a dispensary and coming out with the BONGZILLA strain of weed?
We just talked to a guy in Vancouver about our own strain.
Well,
so, yeah, we have thought about that.
I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe even some bongs, not to get all commercial, whatever, but there should be a BONGZILLA bong.
Oh, God, yeah. I think there is already, but we got nothing to do with it.
But our glass pipes just makes, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, because it's an organic thing with you, you know, so.
I would agree. Agree.
So, like,
thank you, dear.
I know personally, it's all good. Personally, food, I feel that food has the power to bring cultures together.
Is there a bathroom? Oh, okay. Thanks.
Are you back now, Mike?
Okay. No, I'm good. I'm good.
You ready?
Keep talking.
All right, so check this out. Food has the power. I feel that food has the power to bring different cultures and people together around the table to share their culture and all that, you know? Do you feel that weed has the same effect? Like, do you find that you've met interesting people, the fact that both of you are smokers or all of you might be, and you get to know different cultures through the act and ritual of smoking weed with someone?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's bonding. For sure.
All right, cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool.
You know, maybe even more so than food.
In what way? Explain.
Well, it's a psychic thing, you know?
Mm-hmm. I feel you.
Like getting high together, like, sometimes food will make you high and make you really happy, right?
Right.
But that's automatic usually with weed. Not always. It's an amplifier, so sometimes it'll amplify your bad mood too, but you know.
Yeah, I feel you. Do you have like, what are some of your fondest memories of like the 90s and shit, like playing shows with BONGZILLA and like give us some, man. You got it. I want to know, man.
All the Weed Eater tours we did, for sure.
Right.
Were sick. Like, that was around, I'd say in the late 90s, that was. Some of the big relapse shows, playing with Mastodon a lot.
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't even know. You know, there was so many back then. Also, it's been a long time.
Did you guys ever play with I Hate God?
What's up?
Did you ever play with I Hate God?
Oh, God, tons.
Yeah?
Tons. Yeah. I would consider those boys friends.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome. Yeah, they're pretty cool people, man. Pretty cool people. I got a lot of love for Mike. He's a good dude.
Oh, yeah. They're righteous people.
For sure.
You know, playing with some of the big hometown bands like Killdozer, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
What about, like, let me ask you this. How did you guys go about picking the illustrators that you worked with? Like, what made you work with Eric Roper?
Oh, I mean, I've always loved his art. Fuck. You know, Weed Eater, Buzz Over and Sleep, High and Fire. I just always have loved his artwork. And same with Malleus. You know, I just seeking out people that I have seen covers they've done and enjoy them, you know. especially later in the game. The first couple, we did the artwork mostly, you know, or at least like Stashes. I came up with that, and I think Relapse might have did most of the artwork for Methods.
Right.
And then Cooter, our bass player, came up with the idea for Apogee with the one photo is a friend of ours, farm in California, actually. So
is Cooter and Weed
then
Eater
the
as well?
helicopter getting shot down.
Is Cooter and Weed Eater as well?
Cover. No, Dixie Dave was in Weed Eater, and he played on Marijuana Kid.
Right, all right, cool.
Yeah, so
who in the band knows their way around the kitchen? And
our drummer does, and I'm going to have to either get back to you. I'm not with them. Those guys walk back to the club.
It's all good.
So, but our drummer actually works he has actually a chef. So.
Oh, awesome. How? So
we'll get back to that one when I'm almost back to the club. So.
All right. I'm almost done with the interview, but check this out. Talk to me about what feelings are going through your body and what thoughts are going through your mind on this tour while you're up on stage doing what you fucking love, man. What has it been like for you?
I just feel lucky mostly. You go out with Black Cobra and Lopan and Against the Grain. I mean, they're all the bands are super cool, and to even wake up and be, you know, like make a decision to do something like we're doing, it seems like a insane blessing that, you know, everybody wants, but somehow I got, you know.
Yeah.
It's quite humbling, to be honest, you know, in one of the most wonderful ways ever.
Yeah, man. It's like, I do have to say, seeing you brothers live in Vancouver was like really, really special, man. It was fucking
cool.
It was pretty awesome. We had to leave earlier than we wanted to because we had to get home to the babies, but we stayed for as long as we could, and what we saw blew our minds. And do me a favor, let Black Cobra know that I was too high to say hi to them, but while they performed, my wife and I, Megan, who's also the editor of the site, or co-editor, is like, their set fucking
they're super sick.
Dude, it's like dinosaurs playing fucking Doom or something, like in this weird dinosaur land. It's like their music is amazing, and how two people can do that, we're amazed. So just send our love to them, dude, because
yeah, they make a ruckus for two people.
I'm saying, bro,
for sure.
And the thing is, I want you to know, Mike, as somebody who's a part of this webzine, to be able to be a part of your tour in any way. We're BONGZILLA fans, and dude, it's like you're family now, and whatever, like, even when the tour's over, man, let's stay in touch. Vancouver is a beautiful city. Come back, hang out, and you guys are awesome, dude. You know? Yeah,
man. Cool. Thank you.
And
super appreciate the time.
No worries, dude. Is there anything you want to say in closing?
Hey, stay high. And if you're in the U.S., vote to smoke, and smoke when you vote.
All right, man. Hey, yo, so we're going to get this up ASAP. And this is going out to all of the listeners and readers of Cult Nation. If you're in America and BONGZILLA is slated to come to your town and they haven't yet, make sure you fucking go, because they're the shit.
And bring weed.
Hey, Mike, I'll talk.
Thank you, man. I super appreciate it.
No worries, bro. Tell the rest of the
Hopefully I will talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. Talk to you later, bro. Peace.
Cool. Bye.
Bye.